Mic check one, mic check two. If you are watching this on the replay, take advantage of the chapters. I am in setup mode right now. Go right to the chapter that says, welcome to Market Recap Live. Go there. Go there. And you can start the show because I'm in setup mode. My goal during the live stream is just to be on time, not to start on time. So I am here. That's what's going on. Today was an interesting day in the market. My portfolio is looking good. I'm excited because I got a feeling, guys. I got a feeling about something tomorrow, and I just want to see if it's going to play out. They got one more day to play these games. Oh my gosh. And Sunday, during our weekly recap, I'm going to share with you guys some of those things that they do. And let me warn you right now before you see a fly in this live stream. Guys, it's like I'm in Holy Moly Donut Shop when spring and summer hit. Flies get in the house and they take over, okay? So I'm warning you now, you might see a fly or two throughout the live stream. I got all my lights and stuff set up. I forgot to have one of my lights set up yesterday. Okay, let me set up this earnings thing. Get that going. Threw this shirt on. Am I good? Yeah, I'm good with the shirt. Let's get this set right. Fix this. I think that's good. Let me see if we zoomed in. No, we good. We good. We're good there. Let me put myself here. You guys don't need to see this other stuff. Whew. Guys, I'm approaching 350 videos on my YouTube channel. I've been so focused on just putting out the content, I didn't even realize what number I was on. Time has been flying, guys. It has been flying. We are in June and we already like halfway through it. It just felt like it was tax time. Zoomed in. Yeah, all right. I got everything set up the way I need it set up. We got the sound and everything. Thank you for tuning in. Hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel. I definitely would appreciate it. I would appreciate it. Make sure I got the mic and everything positioned and we can get ready to start the show. Make sure my lips ain't too greasy. All right. Put that down. Get this here. Am I good? I think I'm good. I think I'm good. Oh, let me fact check this prompter before we mess around and something ain't in here. So let me see. You might know better. I'm just reading over it, making sure nothing's missing, because in certain spots I can tell if something's wrong by something missing out of the script. All right, it looks good. All right, we can go ahead and get started. Let me set this up. And here we go. You heard that? Somebody just closed the door. Boy, they don't respect me. Like Rodney Dangerfield. Ain't no respect. All right, let's get it going. What they? You see it? Woosa. Woosa. Let's just get it going. Let's go. Welcome to Market Recap Live. I am your host, Joseph Martin, and thank God, thank God, it is Thursday, guys. It is Thursday, and tonight we're taking a look at ticker ADBE. You might know them better as Adobe. Adobe Incorporated was founded in 1982 by Charles Geschke and John Warnock, with the first office opening in Mountain View, California. Now they're publicly traded on the NASDAQ and have a market value over $80 billion. Yes, that's B, billion dollars. Adobe is in the software industry in the information technology sector, and they are listed in the S&P 500 index. Some of Adobe's competitors are Microsoft Corporation, ticker MSFT, Salesforce Incorporated, ticker CRM, and Autodesk Incorporated, ticker ADSK. We're going to review Adobe's earnings, their website, and pull up the charts to perform a quick technical analysis. But before we do that, let's do our roll call and check our stream poll. We are streaming live on YouTube and Facebook. Let's get this chat going and tell us where you're tuning in from. Put a YT in the chat if you're tuning in from YouTube, and put an FB in the chat if you're tuning in from Facebook. While you guys are filling up the stream and the chat, here's the mission statement. We are building a community over here for people who want to take control of their financial situation by learning how to unlock the wealth building power of the stock market. And we are streaming Monday through Friday following trading sessions at 11 p.m. Eastern time. The U.S. stock market regular trading hours are 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern time. And there's a link for the New York Stock Exchange calendar down in the description. All right. Now let's get to it. Let's go ahead and go to these earnings so we can knock those out. Looks like everything where it needs to be. So let's go. Adobe, ticker symbol ADBE, the $88.4 billion company, reported its second quarter earnings on Thursday, June 11th. They have a 52-week high of $416.39, which took place on June 12th, and a 52-week low of $218.09 that occurred on June 11th, which is a trading range of $198.30. And they closed today at $218.80. Adobe earnings report beat on the top line, reporting revenue of $6.6 billion, which was higher. You know what? I'm starting over. I'm starting over because I had seen something that wasn't right in here anyway. Let me fix this right now. That's not supposed to say that. So, bop, bop, bop. Okay. That's not supposed to be there. Bear with me. I'd rather have this correct and slow the show down than to go through here stumbling through this. So we got that where it needs to be. And then that June 11th, since it's so close to today, I got to point out that that's last year, guys. That's June 12th last year, because by the time people watch this short that we're going to create from this, or this reel, it's going to be June 12th. They might think it's that same day. So we're going to make sure we put last year. All right, about to start from the top of the earnings highlights. Here we go. Adobe, ticker symbol ADBE, the $88.4 billion company, reported its second quarter earnings on Thursday, June 11th. They have a 52-week high of $416.39, which took place on June 12th of last year, and a 52-week low of $218.09 that occurred on June 11th, which is a trading range of $198.30. And they closed today at $218.80. Adobe earnings report beat on the top line, reporting revenue of $6.6 billion, which was higher than the market expectations of $6.5 billion. And they beat on the bottom line as intense enterprise demand for Firefly generative artificial intelligence integrations drove massive net new digital media annual reoccurring revenue. EPS was higher than the analysts and market expectations of $5.81 when they reported an adjusted EPS of $5.96. Adobe reported a GAAP net income of $1.71 billion, which was higher than the $1.69 billion net income they reported this same quarter last year. This represents an increase of 1.18%. And so for the second fiscal quarter of 2025, their net profit was approximately 1.17% lower than it is compared to now a year later. The earnings were released after the market closed, followed by a 5 p.m. Eastern time conference call. As far as guidance, management raised its full year fiscal 2026 targets, projecting total revenue up to $26.6 billion. That 52-week high compared to today's closing of $218 $1,016.80 represents a decline of 47.45% in just under a year. So if someone invested $1,000 in June last year at that 52-week high of $416.39, they would be seeing a loss of $474.53. Okay, we did that. We got through it. All right, let's go here. Okay, let's talk about why we visit these company websites. We're looking at the visuals and text to find answers to these key questions. What goods and or services does the company sell? How important are those goods and services to their customers? What makes this company stand out from the competition? And how well do they take care of their employees? We look for those answers in four main areas: the homepage for the goods and or services, about us for purpose, vision, and mission statements, careers for employee benefits and opportunities, and investor relations for SEC filings and stock quotes. And for your convenience, all companies featured in tonight's live stream are down in the description. Now let's go to Adobe's website. Let me get that pulled up for you guys. All right, here we go. Bam, Adobe. And that's not the ticker. Here's the ticker we need. There we go. Adobe Incorporated and the right disclaimer. Okay, we're gonna browse over this home page. Let me look at the top and see if it's anywhere that stands out to me that we're gonna go. Products, use cases, solutions, learn, support. Nope, we're gonna scroll over. I'm believing what we're gonna click on is at the bottom of the website. So let's just browse over it. Acrobat, get work done faster. Create, edit, share, and sign documents with trusted PDF tools. Use AI to make easy edits, get answers, share information, and create polished content. Everything you need to make anything. Okay, creativity and design, content creation, PDF and document essentials. Got it. Explore what's new, features and releases. And remember, links to these websites are down in the description for your convenience as well, for you to browse through these on your own. Upscale images instantly with AI. Work smarter than ever with documents. Blend images seamlessly with Harmonize. Creative Cloud lets me create effortlessly, allows me to focus on what's important. Okay, they just got a lot of stuff we can browse through with this. Okay. Some of this stuff I'm just gonna click on. I'll be reading all night if I read all of that, but boy, oh boy, it's a lot of stuff. Tools that work for you. Bring any idea to life with products for creators, businesses, and beyond. See all products. Here are some of their different programs that they offer. This was the Firefly that we mentioned inside of the earnings report, the earnings highlights that we talked about earlier. Premiere, GN Studio, Creative Cloud, Illustrator. Okay, here is the bottom of the website. And over here to the right, this is where we're going to be clicking. So we're going to go to About, we're going to go to Careers, and we're going to go to Investor Relations. So I'm glad that they have this very simply laid out down at the bottom. So let's go to About, and let's read about the Adobe company. This is a video. Empowering everyone to create. Adobe empowers everyone everywhere to imagine, create, and bring any digital experience to life. Got it. Creative Cloud, Document Cloud, learn more, Adobe Express, Experience Cloud, how we're making an impact. Explore all the ways Adobe is innovating, breaking boundaries, and making a difference in our local communities and across the globe. Here are some stats right here. Over 100 Adobe Creative campuses worldwide, over 700 million Adobe stock assets. Wow, okay. Our approach to generative AI. Adobe is amplifying human ingenuity with AI, helping customers enhance their creativity, increase their productivity, and deliver more personalized experiences. Got it. Making history since 1982. Yep. And we talked about that at the opening of the live stream. So we went over the About section. Let's go to Careers. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel. The future is created by you. Explore opportunities. Now, you know what we're looking for, guys. We're looking for the benefits. Where are the benefits? How well do you take care of the employees? Join us in empowering everyone to create, explore our teams. Everything at Adobe starts with our people. Discover our culture, create it for your best work. Explore our benefits. There we go. So I'm gonna finish browsing over this page. And just in case you missed my disclaimer at the beginning of the show, guys, it's like I'm in holy moly donut shop when springtime and summertime hit. You're gonna see flies. So once they get in the house, they terrorize me. It's terrible trying to get them out of here. So you're gonna see a fly from time to time. How we hire, I love when websites talk about that. Stay in the loop, find your place, an equal opportunity employer. All right, let's go back to the benefits. We browsed over everything. Here we go. Explore our benefits. Let's go. All right, explore our benefits and perks that make life better. Choose your country, America's. Oh my goodness, United States. Just tell me what the benefits are. They zoomed us out too. So focus on your financial future. So we found it. So here's where the benefit information is. We already spent a lot of time going over the website so far. So I'm just going to scroll over it so you can see it. Medical, dental, vision, well-being, reimbursement, employee assistant, healthy habit support, guided meditation, find balance, build care for your family, build and care for your family, keep growing, give back. Okay, so we went over that. Now let's go to investor relations. So let's go back. Let's go back. Go back. Are we at the bottom? No. Come on now. Here we go. All right, here we go. Investor relations. Did they zoom us out? Let's double check. Nope, they didn't. Good. So we're on the investors relations page. We're going to browse over this and we're going to look for the stock information, the stock quote, and the stock chart. So investor relations about Adobe. As one of the largest and most diversified software companies in the world, Adobe empowers everyone to create by building innovative platforms and tools that unleash creativity, productivity, and personalized customer experiences. Investor highlights, quick links, quarterly results, investor news, et cetera, et cetera. Remember, links to this website are down in the description for your convenience. Now, I didn't see any stock information up here. Let's see. Events present, investor news, investor resources. Let's try investor resources. I don't see the stock information. And this is acquisitions. So these are companies that they purchased. That's interesting. Investor news, press releases. Don't see the stock. That's weird. It should be right here at the top. Like the stock information. They don't even mention the stock price or nothing. Wow. All right, guys. It shouldn't have been this hard to find. I don't believe they have it on their website. That's my vote. I don't think they have it. I don't think they had a stock information up there. It wouldn't be that hard to find. Like even when we go to investor relations on most websites, they'll have the stock quote somewhere on the page, at least telling you the stock price and what in the exchange that they trade on. So I don't see it. Let's go ahead and move on. We're not even gonna hold up the show like that. So let me tell you what I found in the company research. Adobe does have customers and partners that are listed in the S&P 500, and some notable names include Microsoft Corporation, ticker MSFT, International Business Machines Corporation, ticker IBM, and Accenture PLC, ticker ACN. All right. So let's move on. Let's talk about this. Go to main. Before we look at the charts, remember, professionals trade from a computer, not a mobile device. Mobile trading apps are limited. Traders can lose critical details and advanced platform features using apps on phones instead of software on computers or websites. So keep in mind, trading from a smartphone is usually the least effective way for managing assets. To access most details, it's best to use a full trading platform. Watch these streams on a computer or TV and only use your phone as a last resort. Now let's look at Adobe on the charts. Let's go to the charts. Here we go. And we got the ticker pulled up already. Let's make sure we got the Thinkorswim disclaimer. There we go. All right, so we have a 1 year daily chart pulled up for Adobe, and we can see the 52-week high of $416.39. We see the 52-week low of $218.09. Now, guys, that happened today. Now, here's what's interesting that I'm seeing. It hit a 52-week low today, right before the earnings were announced. That's crazy. Like, I haven't seen that happen often. So we're going to see an increase in volume because tomorrow they're going to react to the earnings that were announced today because they were announced after the market closed. Okay, so we're going to talk about the volume. It looks like they've just been on a downtrend for a while. It looks like they tried to find consolidation here, and they broke out to the upside a little bit, and then they took it all back. Okay, that's what I'm seeing there at first glance on the 1 year daily. So let's go look at the 10-year weekly chart. Okay, so let's check that out. Here we go. So this is the 10-year weekly. Zoom out. So there's a 10-year low of $90.35, 10-year high of $699.54. Now we can see that high took place at the end of 2021, and it looks like Adobe does not pay a dividend. Okay, they had a pull. I wouldn't even say it's a pullback. They had a downtrend from this high that found a bottom in 2022. They recovered most of it, but not quite to the historical highs. So that's around $638.27. And then it's pretty much been on a downtrend since the end of 2023, beginning of 2024. So that's what I'm seeing on the 10-year weekly chart. We can put me back on the screen. Put me back on the screen. All right. Now, as far as looking for levels, this area that they found support in 2022, I'm going to put a price line there and see what other areas have reacted. Yeah, that tells a little story right there, guys. Let me take me back off the screen so you can see it. Okay, right here in 2018. So I focused on this one because this was a very clear bottom that it found in 2022. So that's where I got the price level from for $274.73. After I find this, now I'm looking for other times it responded to the same price level. That's what I'm doing. So we can see the first time it responded to it was here, and that was in 2018. Then in 2019, it was fighting with that price range, with that price level. It was fighting with it. It got above it, came back down, tested it as support, didn't hold, went up under it a little bit. Then it was able to break out after the consolidation. So it was almost like it was consolidating for most of 2019. Broke out to the upside, came back down and tested that price level of $274.73. And then that's when it went on the uptrend to create that 10-year high of $699.54. Now, it wasn't a straight uptrend because right here, it looks like the trend started to consolidate and go sideways, temporarily broke out of the bottom right here. And then once it broke out of the consolidation, it went to the upside. Then it did a violent pullback. It almost came back down to the consolidation levels. So I'm just walking through the idea of thinking about how the price action was responding. So let's go ahead and start looking at, put me back on the screen. Let's start looking at the current price action to look for support and resistance. Shouldn't go there. Let's take that off. Remove drawing. I'm gonna zoom in because it'll be easier to do this if I zoom in. So I'm gonna zoom in. The price level that I'm looking at is right here. The bottom of this green candle. So it's 3 candles right here that responded to that price level of $316.11. The green candle and the 2 wicks on those red candles. Okay. Now I'm going to look to the right. We see that used it as support. It wasn't perfectly respected as resistance right there. You can't see it. Let me take me off the screen. Take me off the screen so you can see it. It didn't hold, it didn't come quite to that. It tested it, like it came near it. We're using a line and not a zone because I want to move a little bit faster tonight. But it wasn't perfect here. It closed above it, then it opened below it. Right here with this red candle. I'm sorry, it opened above it and it closed way below it. And then the next day it recovered and closed above it. Then it looks like it went into consolidation right here, broke out to the upside, came back down and tested it as support. That's what I was seeing with that price level that we picked there. So let's go ahead and go to the 1 year daily chart and let's focus on the technicals for what's going on right now. Adobe's looking nasty, guys. That's all I can say. That's all I can say right now from what I'm seeing. It just looked mad nasty. I know that's not politically correct, but that's how it's looking to me, because this is consolidation to me. That's what I'm seeing as consolidation. And then before that consolidation started, I'm seeing this gap. Now the gap has been filled, but I want to show you what that looks like. So let's zoom in. Wait a minute. Let's zoom in and focus on the price action that's going on now. Okay. I can take me off. No, I'm good. I'm not blocking it. So right over here, if I use this tool, the rectangle tool, here's the gap I'm talking about. Bam. So there's the gap. Edit properties, make it yellow to help identify that it's a gap. Come on now. Edit properties, make this yellow, extend the time frame over to December 1st, and then I'm going to explain to you what we're doing. December 1st of 2026. That's random. I'm just using that to extend it over far enough. So as these candles start to peek into that gap, so this wick right here on this green candle, that started to close that gap. Then this red candle penetrated most of that gap. So it made the gap smaller. But then here, this final candle right here closed that whole gap off. So the gap was finally closed all the way on June 1st. So I'm going to remove that. I just wanted to give you a visual of what I was talking about. So it's in consolidation, breaks out the top. So here's the top of the consolidation. If I go right here, you see how many candles responded to that as far as like getting stopped? Wait a minute. Come on now. These two mice, my mouse game, I got to get this better. Okay, so here we go. This green candle respected it. This one respected it. This one respected it as resistance. This red candle happened to open above it, but it wasn't able to close above it. That's what we see in there. So that's still in that consolidation range. Okay. Then when it gapped up over here, so this was a gap between these two candles, and then it wasn't able to hold. Came back down, didn't hold on support, opened back above it. It just could not stay above that $258.91. And then since then, it's just been saying, hey, we can't do it. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing on the technicals. Far as resistance, let's talk about it. Resistance, I'm going to say the bottom of the consolidation zone. Now, I'm not counting these three candles right here as the bottom. I'm looking at the fact that this candle here respected it and the wick on this one. This would be more so like a zone, and this happened to peek out of it. So if I did it like a zone so you can see what I'm talking about, I would use this tool right here. So I would put it on the body of this candle, the low of that candle, and then extend it over to the right. And that would be like a support zone. The reason why I didn't want to do that is because it's kind of wide, but that makes it where it touches more candles. So it's touching the wick of this candle, the wick of this candle, these three candles, these two candles, these two candles. So it's showing more candles responding to that zone. Now, when I edit the properties, you can see those price levels in that zone. So it's $227.14, $233.16. That's the top of the zone. So we got it. And then we have this 52-week low as support as far as right now. And then we got the rush of volume coming in tomorrow. All right, so those are my technicals. As far as resistance, this will also be resistance to me. This 9-day simple moving average. If it can't get back above that, that will be resistance to me as well. So let's go ahead and get the stock quote for Adobe so we can move on, guys. So we can move on. I zoomed in a little bit. Go up there to settings. Get the floating data box, apply. Sis is here. I'm late at looking at the comment. Hey, sis, thank you for tuning in. Pull up Adobe. Put that back on the screen. There we go. All right, so let's get the quote for Adobe. So Adobe opened today at $229.92. They had a high of $232.50. They had a low of $218.09, and they closed today at $218.80, which is a trading range of $14.41. Now, when we look at the trading volume, they traded 17 million shares of this stock today. But we need to find out what the average trading volume is for Adobe before we get too excited. So let's go over here and look at the volume labels. Take me off the screen. So the average trading volume for Adobe, guys, is a little less than 5 million shares in a daily trading session, in a day trading session. So it's 4.8 million shares. So they definitely did above average here. They did about 6 times what they normally do. 3 times what they normally do. If we round this up to 5, this is a little bit more than 5. So 3 times what they normally do. And then on Wednesday, the previous volume, they did 5.1. So that was above average, but not by much. And remember, they had earnings today, so we should definitely see an increase in volume tomorrow. But this is what's crazy. So let's talk about this. Put me back on the screen. Out of the most recent 252 trading days, no days had higher volume than today. And the earnings were announced after the market closed, okay? After the market closed, which I'm going to show you that in a second. So, of course, the volume rank percentile is going to be 100%, which means today's volume was higher than all of the most recent 252 candles volumes on a day session, okay? So now, look right up here. Here's the bid and the ask. This is what it's trading for now. So when the market closed, it was trading for $218.80. After earnings, it's dropped down to around 205. I'm rounding it off, $205. Now we can go into the charts to find out if it went even lower than that. So I'm going to go over to my 5-day minute chart. And there it is, guys. So let me take me off the screen so you can see it. So after hours, the low was $203.35. This is how low it's been trading since the market closed. So it's dropped down even further. Here's the spike. And if you want to see what that price is, I'll show you. So if I put this here, the spike after hours was $229.22. Let me remove that and make sure I did that right. Edit properties, price level. Wait a minute. Come on now. Come on now. Remove that. Remove price level. Got it. Let me make sure to snap to it. There we go. $229.28 was the high after hours. The low after hours was $203.35. So that's what it was trading for after the market closed. So we're done with that. Put me back on the screen. Let's move on. All right. Back to the community. I would appreciate it very much if you guys share the stream, hit the like button, subscribe. If you wish to send a monetary gift to support the content, Cash App and PayPal links are down in the description. Now, let's talk about the prompters behind. Okay, let's look at what the S&P 500 index did today by using the SPY ETF. This ETF gives investors an opportunity to participate in the broader U.S. market by allowing them to own a percentage of each company in the S&P 500 index. Okay, so let's go back to the charts and look at what the SPY did today. So let's go back to the charts. Here we go. Bam. SPY, pull that ticker up. We want to go up here to the symbol box, SPY. There we go. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel. So here we go. The 52-week low of the SPY is $591.89. The 52-week high is $760.40. Okay. So we're going to zoom in and we're going to focus on what happened with the SPY today. It did a nice recovery bounce off of this support zone we drew on the charts. Let me put me back on the screen. Okay. So the levels that we had on the chart, it closed that gap. It spent a few days down in this gap. Okay. So when we talked about those gaps, that yellow that we put on the charts, that's gone because the wick on this candle, which was Tuesday, ended up filling that gap. Then Wednesday spent some time down in that gap. And then today it came down and found this support zone that we put on the chart. It was able to hold at the bottom of the green candle body. That's where it opened, tested that zone, came all the way up and was able to close above that area of support resistance we had on the chart at $737.05. It still hasn't gotten back up to the 9-day simple moving average, but it did recover most of the losses that came in on this candle from yesterday. This is a very bullish candle compared to what happened yesterday. It recovered almost all of it. It just missed the top of that wick. Okay, there's no new technicals to draw because it's actually responding to the lines that we already have on the chart, which is great because that means we don't have to spend a lot of time talking about the SPY. We can go ahead and get this ETF quote going, and we can talk about the volume and move on. So let's go to the floating data box and talk about it. So the SPY opened today at $728.76. They had a high of $740. They had a low of $724.41, and they closed today at $737.76, which was a trading range of $15.60. Now, the volume, let's talk about the volume. 86 million shares of this ETF was traded today. Now, let me take me off the screen after we remove this floating data box, and let's see what that volume looking like. All right, so we go over here. So the average trading volume for the SPY in a day is 74 million shares. So here's what's interesting, guys. This is why I say volume is very important when you're looking at technicals. Today you have more volume, this 86 million compared to yesterday at 60 million. So here's what makes that significant. The red candle had less volume than the green candle. That's what we're looking at. We saw an increase in volume that got above average that pushed this price up. So that's some buying. That's some motivated buying. Buyers stepped in and drove this price up today. I'm trying to put me back on the screen. Buyers stepped in and drove this ETF price up today. That's a good sign. If this candle was green and the volume was lower than that red candle's volume, might be a little shaky. But because that volume is convincing, it's above average, that's a good sign. And the fact that it closed above, so I'm gonna point out what's looking bullish to me. It's the volume. It's not just the fact that the candle is green. The volume is above average. The volume is higher than the red candle's volume. It closed above an area of support. It opened above an area of support. And this was actually resistance because it opened up here. Once it got above it, it turned into support. So I'm pointing out what I'm seeing that makes this one candle bullish compared to what we were seeing before. It found support at that zone. It opened above that support we had here, and it opened higher than it closed yesterday. So it's a few different things I'm looking at, including the volume. Okay. So that's what we're looking at with that. Let's finish the volume conversation off. So out of the most recent 252 trading days, only 66 of those days had higher volume than today. Okay. So when we look at the volume rank percentile, was 73.8%, which means today's volume was higher than 73.8% of the most recent 252 trading days volume. Got it. So we can go ahead and move on. We covered the SPY fast today. I like that. We can move on. All right. Now let's look at the S&P 500 biggest gainer and loser of the day. And first, we're going to look at the loser so we can end the night on a high note. All right. So let's go over to the charts again. We can take the SPY off. We're done with the SPY for right now. Let's go over to the Market Watch tab. And here we go. The biggest loser is ticker PTC. I have never heard of this company before. PTC Incorporated. Okay. So they lost 12.36% today. The previous close was $135.08. They closed today at $118.39. Let's pull up a calculator and do a hypothetical. Clear this out. Let's say if somebody invested $3,500, if somebody invested $3,500 and lost that 12.36%, we multiplying it by that, then we change it to a percentage, then we hit it with the negate to make it negative. They would have lost $432.60. Then we add the principal back to it, which was $3,500, and they would be left with $3,067.40. Got it. Let's move on. Let's go over here to the Analyze tab after we close this calculator. And here we go. So PTC is in the information technology sector. So now that we know that, we want to see how that sector performed, how that industry performed, and how that sub-industry performed. So we're going to go back up to the Market Watch tab, and we're going to go to the Visualize sub tab, okay? Now that we're here, we are looking for the information technology sector. That is right here. Bam. Now we're looking for PTC. Since I was about to say, I see it. It's very small. Their market cap is small. So it's over here. They're in the software industry. Bam. Right over here. So they're in the application software sub-industry. This section right here. Here they are, PTC. So it looks like this whole sub-industry pretty much did bad today, besides Datadog and Palantir. That's what I'm seeing. And if we go back out and just look at the software industry, you see a few more greens. You see Palo Alto, CrowdStrike, and Fortinet Incorporated. Those were green. Information technology sector, I'm seeing a lot of green. But the software industry looked like they got hit today. All right, so we seen that in the Visualize. So let's move on to Analyze, and let's talk about the company's details. Take me off the screen. PTC Incorporated, here's their website. Links to their website are also down in the description for your convenience. PTC Incorporated operates as a software company in the Americas, Europe, and the Asia Pacific. The company provides Windchill, a suite that manages all aspects of the product development lifecycle, that provides real-time information sharing, dynamic data visualization. Guys, I didn't expect that to be that long. I'm ready to go to the website because we're going to review over this stuff anyway. So let's go to their website, pull that up, put me back on the screen. We're not going to read that long thing because we're going to find all of this out when we go on their website anyway. All right, let's make sure we zoomed in. Okay, let's see something on here. It looked like a For Dummies book or something. Ebook, yeah, For Dummies. Okay, so we're on the home page. Let me look at the top. We might go to YPTC, and it looks like they have something about education and support. That's dope. Okay. All right. So we're going to browse over this home page. It looks like what we need to see is going to be at the bottom of the page. So PTC Next. See what's next. PTC On Demand. Explore PTC Next On Demand for recorded keynotes, product launch highlights, demos, and technical content all in one place. Okay, featured news, ebook, explore, deliver more value through your products. With PTC solutions, you can reduce product development friction and complexity, creating downstream benefits that improve quality, boost revenue, and accelerate innovation. So manage product complexity, reduce costs, improve product quality, drive growth and innovation, transform the customer experience. Got it. What's next with next? Remember, links to these websites are down in the description if you want to dive through this a little bit deeper than I'm doing. Just want to focus on certain things during this live stream. Okay, we're at the bottom. So we're definitely going to go to About PTC. We're going to go to Careers, and we're going to go to Investor Relations. Bada boom, bada bing. So let's go to About PTC. About PTC. About Us, companies that make products the world rely on PTC. Did they zoom us out? No, we're good. How we help our customers. That's important to know. The global economy and our everyday lives run on the 14 trillion of manufactured goods produced each year. Wow. Here's a video you can watch. Use the links for you to check that out. Okay, how we help, see how we help, what makes PTC different. Okay, deep industry expertise, collaborative approach, partner network, explore our partners. That would be something interesting to look into. I'm gonna click on that and see how fast we can do that. Does it have a list of them? Explore partner rewards. I thought it was gonna be something quick where it was just gonna get the names of the company or something. It doesn't look quick at all. So I got some of that in my research, so I'll share that with you when we finish looking at the website. Our market leading technologies, leading with purpose. Our purpose at PTC is to do more than just imagine a better world. It's to help create. This is reflected in our values, sustainability initiatives, social impact efforts, and innovative technology. Okay, additional PTC resources, blogs, careers. All right, we're gonna go to careers. Bam, there we go. Now we're looking for the benefits, guys. We are Team PTC. There it goes, right there at the top. Thank gosh, it's right there at the top. We're gonna browse over this page and then we're gonna go right to the benefits. All right, PTC values. Our commitment to creating excellent experiences, products, and partnerships is matched by our dedication to providing an inclusive workplace culture for all. Okay, got it. What makes PTC a great place to work? They got a video here. You can watch that on your own time. Team PTC benefits. We give our employees the tools, programs, and support they need to help them thrive mentally, emotionally, physically, and financially. So here's the trick, guys. When you scroll through these websites, you see this green at the top. You see that underscore, the green underscore. When we click on benefits, it's not going to do nothing but scroll down the page. So we don't even have to click on that now. We're already there. So it's very vague. That's it. That's the benefits they show you on the website. So we can go ahead and move on and go to the investor relations, because that's what we were focused on for the careers. We were looking for the benefits. So we saw what they showed. Let's go to investor relations. They open this up on a separate website. So I had to bring this over so you can see it. Okay. So blow this up, zoom in, bam, put that back. Make sure they have this. Go over here, because I know this looks small. Give me a second. There we go, 150. All right, now see how this stock information is right here, but when we looked at Adobe, we couldn't find it for the life of us. They trade on the NASDAQ. There's the ticker, there's the closing price, that's how much they lost, that's the net change, and there's the percentage gain or loss, which was actually a loss. Investor relations, corporate overview. We're gonna browse over this page. We're already at the bottom. All right, so at the top, stock info, stock quote and chart. This is how it's supposed to be, guys, just that smooth, and analyst coverage. So here's the stock quote. Here's the stock, and it looks like these stock charts are loading up faster on these websites now, which is a great thing. I think they figured that out. Okay, now let's go here and talk about the research that I found for the company PTC. All right, PTC Incorporated, ticker PTC. When it comes to their goods and services, they manage industrial software and digital transformation across the manufacturing, aerospace, and global engineering technology markets, offering solutions such as complete product lifecycle management solutions like enterprise data tracking and collaborative cloud engineering components that power massive industrial equipment design and rapid access systems. That was a mouthful. We got more. Scalable computer-aided design software products included parametric modeling programs, embedded simulation tools, and high-density generative design configurations for large-scale aerospace developers and mechanical parts. Okay. And optimized industrial Internet of Things, software blocks tailored for high-volume smart factory fabrication, edge computing, operational environments, and global digital factory information. Oh, I got to start shortening those. Those are way too long. All right. Looking at their S&P 500 customers and partners, notable names include Lockheed Martin Corporation, ticker LMT, Caterpillar Incorporated, ticker CAT, and Rockwell Automation Incorporated, ticker ROK. All right. So now let's go to the charts and get a quick technical analysis on this company. And since we never covered this company before, the charts are going to be blank. They're going to be blank. Ooh, guys, that look nasty. I need some water. Boy, they took a red one today, didn't they? And what hurts about this one that I'm seeing, that it looked like it had a bottom, because it's a few candles that responded to that price level of 132.76. So that's very, I know that's heartbreaking to think that you got some support there. So if I was to put the bottom of that candle and the bottom of that candle, and then we expand this zone over to the right, go to December 1st, bam, 2026, and then I'm gonna extend this backwards so we can see this historically as well. 2016, you'll see when we get over there. First, Okay, so we extended that all the way over to the left, and I'm going to remove that price level. So price level, we're going to remove it. So go here, remove price level. Got it. So we just have that zone. We're going to come back to this in a second. We're going to go to the 10-year weekly chart. Okay, now this is why I extended it all the way over to the left and the right. Immediately, we can see that that price zone was respected in 2025, and that was in April 7th, the week of April 7th, 2025. They had a green candle that came down and tested that zone. Then we see that that price level was tested here. It was tested here. It held that support here. And then it was fighting with it here and held as resistance here with that red candle in there. So it responds to that price level in that zone. So we're good with that one. The fact that that price has came down to where it is right now, we're looking for price levels to the left. Okay. And then I missed something. I'm moving kind of fast. I got excited because we were looking at those technicals. So let me take me off the screen and show you what I'm talking about. So here's the 10-year low of $34.68, 10-year high, $219.69. Now that we have that out of the way, we can put me back on the screen and we can get these price levels. So what I'm seeing is right here on this pullback, the wick on this candle right here. Okay. And now I'm seeing the wicks on this candle. So it could kind of be like a zone. So I'm going to show you what I mean. Let's go to the zone, the rectangle tool. The wick of this green candle, and then come down to the wick of this green candle. And then we're going to extend this over to the right. Rectangle, extend this over to 2026, December 1st. So it'll match up with the other one that we have, okay? So there we go, okay? And there's the support zone. We can remove that price level, remove price level, and then we'll go back and work on the price levels a little later, okay? We'll come back and do that. I said remove it, remove it, remove drawing, remove price level, bam. Remove price level, bam. All right, we'll come back and we'll do some price levels when we get over to the 1-year daily chart, because we're going to go back over there in a second, because we need to find another area of support based off of what we're seeing here on the weekly. So right there. And guys, this one seems like it's like zones. This one is like more zones to me. And this is what I'm seeing. Like we're going to use this area over here to create the zone. So this wick, this high, actually not even this wick. Let me zoom in. You can't see it because I'm blocking it. Oh my gosh. Here we go. Let me show you what I'm working on. So I'm going to remove this price level. Come on, you're taking too long. There we go. All right. So I'm going to zoom in over here. And we're going to use this wick, and this wick, That's almost gonna be like a whole candle. I done kind of lost my place with zooming in like that. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do. Because it's a wide zone, guys. You'll see what I mean. That's why it looks so big. It's a wide zone. So if we take this wick and then just go up to the body, just go up to the body, and then we edit these properties and we extend this all the way over to 2026, December 1st, and then zoom out. Now, immediately you can see when we extended it over how all three of these wicks kind of respond to that zone as resistance. No bodies reached it, but the wicks did. The one in the middle is shy of it. It's shy of it, the one in the middle. That was the wick that I was trying to use, but I came over here and used that one. So to clean that up, let's go ahead and clean this up. Let me fix this right now because I want this to be right. So I'm going to remove this drawing. We're going to use this wick And we're going to use this body. Then we're going to extend this all the way over to December 26, 2026, December 1st, 2026. December 1st, 2026. Got it. All right. Now we're going to zoom out so we can look at this. I know that's wide, guys. I know that looks like that's a really wide zone. Some stocks have wide zones. They just do. You can see we would have went crazy. We would have had to put like 3 price levels in here if we didn't use a zone. But that zone held that support all 2022. Okay. Over here, that zone held as resistance. Here, that zone held as resistance. If we extended it over to the right, it held as resistance. I mean, to the left, if I extend it over to the left. So let me do that now so you can actually see it. Edit properties, extend that over to the left. So we're going to go to 2016, January 1st. Here we go. Extend that over to the left, and you can see that it responded. So I'm seeing that. Why did you go through all that? Why you do all that? Because I'm seeing that as a potential zone for the price to catch support if it makes it through this. That's why. Okay. That's why I took the time to do all that. So let's go ahead and go to the 1 year daily chart. Take that off. The price action is trading well below the 200-day simple moving average, which is the dashed white line, and the 9-day simple moving average, which is the dashed green line. Okay. So we went and looked at our historical price levels. So that's where we got our areas of support from. As far as resistance, I'm going to say resistance is going to be here. I would start to look for resistance at that $146.95 because that's where it pulled back and made the last high before it started the pullback or started coming down. These candles responded to it. This opened above it, but it closed near it, held as resistance here, opened above it, but closed below it, support over here. So it's multiple price levels about why I'm picking that level. That's why I'm showing you that. It's not just a random line that I'm picking. Now, I'm going to open these zones up so you can see what these price levels are for the zones. Edit properties so you can see them. The bottom of the zone is $130.89. Top of that zone is $133.89. They both 89 cents. That's interesting. I don't want to do that. Let me see if I can get these on here real quick. 130, 33.89. All right, edit properties, 33.89. I can remember them since they both had the same cents. That make it easy. 30. Then I want edit properties. Price level was 30.89. Bam, bam, 89. That was easy. Okay, so I'm just showing you how you would put the price levels there just in case you didn't want to open up the zone. You could see where they were immediately just by putting the price levels there as well. For some strange reason, the platform doesn't let you put price levels on these zones. They just show you the zones. So we would have to manually put them there like I just did, okay? So I am ready to move on because we spent a lot of time on this one. But that's what I'm seeing as my support and resistance zones, okay? So go to the settings, go to floating data box, apply. So ticker PTC opened today at $133.96. They had a high of $134.24. They had a low of $118. They closed today at $118.39. Guys, that wasn't much of a recovery. They recovered 39 cents from the bottom. And they had a trading range of $16.24. As far as the trading volume, they traded 3 million shares today. Now, guys, this is extremely interesting to me. I'm very interested to see what the volume is like, because for a big red candle like that, you would expect the volume to be above average. And if they're saying this volume was only 3 million, then I'm thinking that the average volume for this candle is less than 1 million. I mean, for this company is less than 1 million in a daily trading session. So let's look. I was wrong. I was close, but I was wrong. So the average trading volume for PTC is 1 million shares in a daily trading session. So they did 3 times what they do on average today with their 3 million shares traded today on this big red candle. Then yesterday, so on Wednesday, they traded 1.4 million, which was also above average. But that was this doji candle right here. The star. You can say a star or a doji. That candle right there, that red candle. Okay. So let me put me back on the screen. And we can talk about this volume. So out of the most recent 252 trading days, guys, only 5 of those days had higher volume than today. Volume rank percentile is 98%. So today's volume was higher than 98% of the most recent 252 trading days volumes. Got it. All right, now we can talk about the winner. Let's move on to the winner. We about to wrap the show up. Oh, all right, so here's the cool thing. Let's go to the winner, the gainer. Now, I keep saying winner. We calling it the gainer now. So the biggest gainer for today is ticker SNDK, SanDisk Corporation. Now, here's what's interesting. They went up 14.5%. They had a previous close of $1,643.23, and they closed today at $1,881.51. All right, let's do a hypothetical. Put the calculator up. Let's say if somebody had invested $900 and got that 14.5% gain, hit the percent, we multiplied that, yup, they would have gained $130.50. Add the principal back to it, the $900 total investment would have grown to $1,030.50. Now, here is where it gets interesting. They are in, let's go to the Analyze tab. They are in the information technology sector. Guess what? We just looked at that already, but they might be in a different industry and they might be in a different sub industry. So we're still going to go over there. So let's go to the Market Watch tab. Let's go to the Visualize sub tab, and let's go to the S&P 500 index. So we need to go to the information technology sector, which is right here. Take me off the screen right here. It's not doing it. All right. Since I took me off the screen, it's acting funny. Here it is, information technology sector. We go there. Now we are looking for SanDisk. So SanDisk is right here. So what industry is that? That's the technology, hardware, storage, and peripherals industry. So we click that, and now this is one whole sub industry. So there's nothing different here. So we can see that it was only 2 companies that did bad today in this industry. Everybody else had a great day in this industry, even SMCI. And SMCI was our biggest loser yesterday. And they went up 9.22%, 9.22%. We can see that right there in the bottom right-hand corner. Okay, put me back on the screen. I don't know why I did that. I'm gonna have to take myself back off. Let's go back to the Analyze tab. Take me back off the screen. And here we go. SanDisk Corporation. Here's their website. Let's read a little bit about the description and let's go to their website. Remember, links to the website are down in the description for your convenience. SanDisk Corporation develops, manufactures, and sells data storage devices and solutions using NAND flash technology in the United States, Europe, the Middle East, Africa, Asia, and internationally. Great, got it. Let's go to their website. Let's put me back on the screen. Wait a minute, we got a lot going on. We put me back on the screen. There's their website. There's the ticker. Here's the disclaimer. We're clicking a little too fast. There we go. All right, now that we're on their website, let me browse over the top. I don't see anything up here that we're going to have to go to. Maybe business, but let's not worry about that right now. Let's browse over the website. Maybe we'll find where we need to go at the bottom. So high performance SSDs available now. Upgrade your experience with SanDisk Optimus drives. Shop now. Upgrade your storage, not your computer. Got it. Backup fast with external SSDs. Accelerate your AI-enabled workflow. And something else I noticed, guys, I know I'm talking kind of fast because I want to get ready to wrap the show up, is ever since AI started taking off, I want to say in the last 2 years, like really became this thing, the price of storage has skyrocketed. So like hard drives, memory, and things like that, this stuff used to be affordable. or cheaper. Now it's super expensive compared to what it was. All right, so we're at the bottom of the page now. Take me off the screen. So here we go. Company, we're going to go to About Us. We're going to go to Investors, and we're going to go to Careers. I love the fact they got this simple. So let's go to About Us so we can keep the show moving. Put me back on the screen. At SanDisk, we keep people and businesses moving forward with inspired innovations to actualize their potential. Who we are. Our vast portfolio of Flash products enables a seamless and simplified world of resilient data expression and storage. We believe that everyone should be inspired by their data to move, create, discover, share, and unlock their potential. Got it. Innovate. Our principles. These principles focus our vision, inspire what we build, and drive our ambitions, shaping our path and defining what success looks like across everything we do. Got it. Innovation, sustainability, collaboration, and community responsible leadership. Got it. Innovation, propel progress. Remember, links to these websites are down in the description for your convenience if you want to dig into this a little bit deeper. But like I said, I'm ready to wrap this up. There goes some directors in the company, the leadership. Okay, now here we go. Take me off the screen so you can see this. Going to careers. Now, what we're looking for here in careers, we are looking for the benefits. And thank gosh, they made it easy right here. So we're going to browse over this page and we're going to come back and click on benefits. Join Team SanDisk, inspire and innovate one pixel at a time. Got it. Meet SanDisk, students and grads, benefits. It got two places for us to click. Okay, our teams, finance, strategy, technology, engineering, global operations, people experience, legal and compliance, sales and marketing. They talk about the hiring process. I love it. Get ready, helping the candidates get ready for the job. Apply, interview, hear from us. Got it. Find the perfect role. Okay, now let's go to benefits right there at the top. Helping you thrive. Holistic support keeps every part of your life running. To make sure that happens, we offer comprehensive benefits and wellness options to fit your life and needs. Okay, so here it is, guys. They have it laid out right here. So the links for the websites down in the description. I'm not going to read all that. So we can go ahead and move on to investor relations. Please don't take us to a different website. They did it. I called it. So let's bring it over so you can see it. Here we go. Bam. Blow it back up. Here. Go back here, zoom in, bam, bam. Oh no, we don't need to get that big. So at the top, you can see it right here. They trade on the NASDAQ. There's the ticker, there's the closing price, net price change, and the percentage change. SanDisk announces participation in investor conferences. Here are some stats. Over 10,000 employees, things like that. We browsed over the homepage. Got it. We're going to go right here to stock quote and chart. And we can also see they have other tools for investors here as well. Stock quote and chart. Here we go. Here's the stock quote. And I spoke too soon. So earlier I was talking about how it seemed like the chart had loaded really fast when we looked at ticker PTC. When we looked at Adobe, we couldn't even find the stock information on their website. But on this one, we found it, but the chart is not visible. I believe these companies outsource that data and connect it to their website. So I'm thinking that the source that they use is delayed. So I talked to you like that to keep you busy while that loaded up. That's what I was doing, but also explaining what was going on. So let's talk about the research that I have found about this company before we started the live stream. All right. So SanDisk Corporation, ticker SNDK, when it comes to their goods and services, they manage advanced memory and data storage across the mobile, consumer electronics, and enterprise cloud data center markets, offering solutions such as complete solid state drive solutions that like enterprise flash and high capacity data center components that power massive artificial intelligence storage and rapid access cloud computing. Scalable flash memory products, including removable memory cards, embedded iNAND storage, and high-density micro storage configurations for large-scale mobile devices and consumer tech manufacturers. Here's the last one. And optimized hardware storage blocks tailored for high volume, solid state computer fabrication, edge computing, and global digital information. Got it. Now, looking at the S&P 500 customers and partners, notable names include Apple Incorporated, ticker AAPL, Microsoft Corporation, ticker MSFT, and Western Digital Corporation, ticker WDC. Okay, now let's go to the Think or Swim charts and get this quick technical analysis going. Put the right disclaimer up there. There we go, SanDisk. All right, now, charts. Woo! Man, they hit a new 52-week high. So take me off the screen. Let's talk about it. Okay, the 52-week low is $39.44. 52-week high, $1,895, guys. Just to give you a peek at the 10-year weekly chart, it doesn't go back that far because they don't have 10 years worth of stock data. That's the simplest way to put it. I don't have to sound smart and all technical. They don't have it. That's why it's not there. Take me off the screen. Here is their 10-year, well, it's not 10 years. It's like 2 years. So their 2-year low of $27.89. And guys, this is nuts. So if we go from this two-year low to this 2-year high, guys, that's a percentage gain of over 6,000. So it's 6,660. Wait, I got to read. It's 6,695.77% gain opportunity from that 2-year low to that 2-year high. What an investment. And just to get an idea of what that would look like, I'm going to pull up the calculator so you can see this. All right, and put me back on the screen. We're gonna do a little math here. Put me back on the screen. Is it gonna block this? Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't start acting goofy. Here we go. All right, yeah, you can see that. Put the calculator back up. So Control T, is that? Nope. There we go. So it won't leave. As I mouse over that, oh, it's acting crazy. What was the percentage? It was 6. Oh, come on now. Come on. Don't do this. Don't do this. What did we do? I see what's going on. I see it. Give me a second, guys. Mouse over. So 6695.77. Let's say, so we're going to turn that to a percentage. Oh, I got to do the money first. Let's say somebody just invested $100. We're going to use a small number. If somebody just invested $100 and they got that 6,695.77% gain, right? So percentage, they would have turned that $100 into $6,695.77, just for you to get an idea of how much growth that was just from the investment. Okay, so if we divided that by the $100 and just changed it, if somebody had invested $10,000, why they do that? Why they do that? Come on now. 10,000 times 6695.77% equal $10,000 would have grown to $669,577, guys. In less than 2 years, just 10 grand investing in SanDisk. That's crazy. That's crazy. Wow, wow, wow. Thank you for tuning in. Hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel. So let's go over here to the 1-year daily chart. And let's look for some technicals, guys. So since the price is up here at these levels, we really don't need to look at anything else. I believe it was over here the last time we looked at SanDisk. It was over here. This is what we was working with. Okay. And since then, it's just been moving on up. So we have a gap here. So close this out. Go here. We have a gap. We might have more than one. So let me expand this so it'll be easier to see. Here's a gap. We're going to use the rectangle tool. Bam, bam. Turn that yellow. We make sure that the gaps on these charts so you'll be easy to recognize when they're yellow. So we take this over to December 1st, 2026. There we go. So I'm seeing another gap right here, but it might have been filled because of these two candles, but I'm gonna still show you what that looks like. So if we put that gap here and then we extend it over to this candle here. So that candle was on May 19th. So edit properties, May 19th. So May 19th, make it yellow. See that? So those candles filled that gap. So it would have stopped there. It looks like it would have stopped on the red one. It wouldn't even made it over to May 19th. It would have been filled by May 18th. Okay, just to give you an example. So now we're going to pull this down. But that is going to be support because it's a few candles that responded to that, okay? So I'm going to change those properties and extend them over. So that's going to be a support zone. I hope that's the right color, but we'll fix it just in case. So we're going to go over to December 1st. That's to expand it out far enough. Click OK. And let me do a regular. If I go bam, bam. That's not the right color. All right, so we remove that drawing and we're going to fix this color, edit properties. This is a darker one. It's that one. There we go. Bam. So that's our support zone. If you want the price levels, here they are. The top of that zone is $1286.13, $1,286.13. The lower of that zone is $1,275.11. I'm not going to put the price levels. I actually can. So here's the price levels. If we do them like that and we expand it out. Okay, they're bunched up, but those are the price levels. All right, now we pull this up. There's a few wicks here. So this right here, the top of this candle, and I'll explain why. So I'm seeing this as support resistance. Now we could do that as like a zone. We could do it as like a zone, but we're moving faster. I'll explain. The close of this red candle is right above that price level of $1,546.09. These wicks tested it. So that wick, this wick, and that wick. All three of those tested it. And then this one found it as resistance. So I'm seeing multiple price levels responding to, multiple candles responding to that price level. That's why I picked it. If I wanted to be a little bit more, I wouldn't say accurate, but like more specific, I could make it a zone. I could make it a zone. And the way I would do it as a zone, I'll show you how, since I mentioned it. This is how we do it. Use the rectangle tool, connect this low to this low, to this close, to the close on that red candle, and then just extend it. This extended over to December 1st, and that would be the support zone. And that was supposed to come down to the high of this candle here. So we can fix it. The high of that candle is 1546.09, 1546.09, 1546.09, 1546.09. We fixed it. There we go. So that's going to bring the zone down so it can touch the high of that candle. That's that. So then you had a gap here. These candles fill that gap. The gap was between this. So from here to here, there was the gap. This candle filled some of it. This candle filled all of it. Far as resistance, this is the resistance because there is no price higher than that right now. Support is going to be this zone, but that's a very bullish candle, but we need to look and see what the volume is like on that candle. Okay, thank you guys for tuning in. Hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel. So I'm going to remove that because we don't need it. That was just showing you an example of a gap, but that gap had been filled, so we can remove it. So let's get the stock quote for SanDisk, and then we can talk about the volume and we can get ready to wrap the show up, guys. So SanDisk opened today at $1,672.26. They had a high of $1,895. They had a low of $1,665, and they closed today at $1,881.51, which was a trading range of $230. The trading volume was 13.7 million shares of this stock was traded today. Now, we're going to take this floating data box off and we're going to look at what the average trading volume is for SanDisk before we get too excited. So we take me off the chart and we come over here and the average trading volume is 11.4 million shares in a regular day trading session or in a daily trading session. So it was just a little bit, guys. It was just 2 million shares above average. And they ended up printing this big green candle. So it might not be as bullish as we think because it's kind of average volume. It's slightly above average. Now it's more volume than it was yesterday. So yesterday we got 10.3 million on this green candle that printed indecision. So they just weren't quite sure. So today opened above. So here's the open on this green candle above the close of yesterday. And then it was able to push above resistance, which was this 9-day simple moving average line, and close convincingly above all these candles, making a new high, a new 52-week high. Wow. All right, now put me back on the screen and let's talk about the rest of this volume. So out of the most recent 252 trading days, guys, only 91 of those days had higher volume than today. Volume rate percentile, as you can see, is 63.9%. So that's what I mean by like it wasn't that impressive, but it was higher than 60%. Okay, with the 63.9%. So that means out of the most recent 252 trading days, today's volume was higher than 63.9% of those candles volumes. Got it? All right, we done. We can move on. We done. We can wrap the show up, guys. We got it. We did it all. We got it. We did everything we supposed to do. I'm looking around trying to figure out where I'm at. But we got it. You already know. I hope that you learned something and I hope that you earned something. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. This Sunday, June 14th at 9 p.m. Eastern time, we're reviewing this week's performance of the 11 sectors in the S&P 500 index. Companies that stood out, notable market news, and performing a live Q&A so we can focus on building our community. And make sure you keep tuning in weekdays following a market trading session at 11 p.m. Eastern time. Take care and God bless.